In the Pits is sponsored by Hustletown Paintball. Hustletown is a brand by Jason Tinsley of Houston that is all about representing Houston paintball and highlighting its local talent. Head to hustletownpaintball.net to browse their selection of casual wear and use code PIT10 for 10% off of your order. In the Pits is partnered with Compete. Compete is a Texas-based brand by Jell Stewart of professional team AC Diesel that provides custom jerseys, pants, headbands, straps, tech shirts, and any other soft goods to help individuals and teams compete at the highest level. Support Texas Paintball and message Compete on Facebook or Instagram and mention In the Pits Podcast for 10% off your entire order. In the Pits is sponsored by FUAthletics, created with a purpose and focused on building a better you. We are a brand that matters in your workout, and every purchase gives back to cancer research. Go to thefuathletics.com and use code INTHEPITS25 for 25% off of your order. In the Pits is partnered with Get Dat Shot. Get Dat Shot now offers first-in-line photo and video editing, 20% off Get Dat Shot merch, and 20% off prints to all teams that wear the Get Dat Shot logo on their jersey. Message GetDat_shot on Facebook or Instagram to become a Get Dat Shot program team. In the Pits is partnered with Paintball Kumite. Paintball Kumite is a program designed by Colt Roberts of professional team San Antonio X Factor to take paintball players of all ages, experience levels, and skill groups and mold them into champions. The program breaks the game down into small, easy-to-learn sessions designed to help you master the fundamentals so that you can elevate your game. Newcomers to the program get a free 1-hour introductory class when mentioning In the Pits. To sign up for a class, message at Paintball Kumite on Instagram. Oh, whoops. There we go. Welcome, everyone, to episode 48 of In the Pits Paintball Podcast. This podcast is focused on everything that has to do with the paintball scene here in Texas, from professional players and teams to new divisional programs, local tournament series, field owners, Texas-based brands, even photographers and videographers. Every week, we'll have a short and sweet episode with a new topic and a new special guest. I'm Christian Smith. I'm a player for the Texas Titans. In this episode, we are going in the pits with Damone, Rippy, and Ruben Maldonado, players for Texas Titans D5. Gentlemen, how are you doing this evening?
Doing well, mate. Thank you for having me.
Good. How about yourself?
Doing good, boys. Y'all have been on an absolute tear this season, so we're going to highlight all of the good work that y'all have been doing. Everybody that should be on notice at this point, just in case they haven't been paying attention. They're definitely in for something here. So let's get started, y'all. So let's start with Damone. So Damone, for those listening that maybe don't know about you personally, how long have you been involved in the Texas paintball scene?
Man, I started playing paintball probably really just under about 2 years ago. Man, I've just been loving it ever since. Just so happy that I got into the sport, honestly.
Sweet. Ruben, how about you? How long you been
in? About 2 years ago, about the same.
Sweet. So what are some teams that y'all have either played for or been involved with over the years? Damon, let's start with you.
For me, I've only been involved with the Titans. When I first came up and started playing, I only knew about the Titans at the time. I mean, I didn't really know much about paintball when I started, but when I came in, the Titans were the only team that I knew about.
Yes, sir. All right, Ruben, how about you?
Me, honestly, just the Titans. Went to the tryouts. Ever since then, I've been playing with y'all.
Sweet. I mean, y'all definitely picked a good team, good first team. There's so many people out there that weren't as fortunate as y'all were to, come across an established program for your very first team. So, I mean, look at the results. Definitely shows that we're hopefully doing something right by y'all. So, Ruben, let's start with you on this one. Tell us about how and why you first got into paintball.
Honestly, I got an email from a Groupon. It was a coupon to paintball nights, a local rec ball field. And I just went out one weekend with my girlfriend and her cousins and her brother. And I got hooked instantly the first game. Then the second weekend I went out to a pro shop that it's here locally in San Antonio. Bought a mini GS, a tank, a whole setup, and just went every weekend, much as I could. And then I saw that the Titans were having tryouts, so I went. That was the first time I ever played speedball. So I don't know, my speed got me on the team, because apparently, if you look back, there's video of me at our tryouts. I could barely run and gun. My fundamentals are way off. It's crazy. Joining the Titans is did me so much and so little. It's crazy.
Yeah, and don't sell yourself short like that, homie. It's definitely was more than just the speed. I mean, you were absolutely fearless in everything that you did, and it's definitely carried forward to your results now. So, Damon, same question for you. How did you first get into paintball?
Man, honestly, when I first got into paintball, it was only because of someone else who's on the team, Isaiah. He had messaged me one day, and he was like, "Yo, there's this thing called paintball. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but this team that I know, the Titans, they're having these tryouts. If you want, you can come along with me, and we'll just throw you in, see how you like it." And I mean, the first day, when I came up and started playing paintball, it was literally at the Titans tryouts. Like, I maybe played rec ball once in middle school, like it was, and that was the only thing I knew of paintball. And then I came up to the tryouts, and it was on the speedball field, and I had the EMEC at the time, that just an old little EMEC with a graphite hopper, I believe, with like a full face Halo mask,
Mm-hmm.
coming up to the tryouts. I had no idea what anything was. I didn't know what, like playing tie was, what snapping was, or even starting at the box. It was just, I was just trying to shoot people, and I ended up getting shot way more. But at the same time, I was hooked instantly, just like Ruben was saying. Like, all day getting shot, but then shooting one guy, I was like, oh man, I want to do this as long as I can. It's the best.
It's crazy how intense it is whenever you first get bit by the bug. Like, you go out and play one time, and then Ruben goes out and buys a whole setup. Damon, like your first time basically ever playing paintball, you're coming out to these tryouts, and then it's like, oh, just that one kill does it for you. And man, look where you guys are now.
And got the first kill, and then just same as Ruben, went and bought a mini GS, a little peanut setup, and then I was hooked instantly, ready to go.
Hell yeah! So this next question is brought to us by Hustletown Paintball. So head to hustletownpaintball.net, use code PIT10 for 10% off of your order. So Ruben, we're gonna start with you. So what was it, do you think, that like solidified your transition from recreation to the tournament scene? What was it like that truly got you over to speedball and never looking back?
I think it's the competition. Playing rec ball, it's just playing older, oversized men and little kids. They just stand back. They're not really too aggressive. I like the competition. I know there was more competition, and I wanted to go just be the best. You know what I'm saying? That's what I strive for, to be the best I can, and just keep going. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I mean, competition it definitely gives us that drive. Damon, I know this question isn't so applicable to you because you just kind of went cold turkey into this thing, but did you ever why? I know it was Isaiah that got you into it, but you never thought for a second like, hey, let's just go, let's figure out what paintball is first, or you were just, fine with going in head first into this whole thing?
I mean, honestly, man, I didn't really know, I didn't know how much pain threshold was gonna be. I didn't know what the guns were. I didn't know that the guns shot as fast as they did. I thought that they were just shooting one time. So I was like, yeah, throw me in. Let's see what happens. I can either like it or not. But I mean, I got thrown in, and I was just hooked immediately, ready to go again. I mean, that first day I could have played for 5 more days and been completely fine. Like it was just an instantaneous thing.
But this guy's a pro athlete already.
Yes. Let's actually talk about that a little bit more. I want to talk about y'all's backgrounds, because I know your careers are still quite young. So, Damon, let's go with you. Like, what's your background in, like, your job or any other, if you did any other sports or anything like that?
Yeah. So before this, I was doing something called flyboarding. A flyboard is like a water jetpack that attaches to your feet. You can just fly up in the air right above the water with the jet ski. Um, I've been doing that since I was 14 up until about 21, moving all around and doing a bunch of shows and stuff. But coming from there, I was doing a bunch of competitions before that, like for that actual sport. So coming into paintball, it just really, I already had that drive for competition, but then coming into paintball, it just kind of fueled it even more. So I think that it just makes it carry for me, which just pumps me up for like all the boys instead of just myself now.
Sweet. Ruben, how about you? Did you ever like play any sports before coming into paintball?
I played all the sports you can think of: basketball, football, soccer, but they just weren't. I played them for a season and I would quit because they weren't. They wouldn't catch my attention. But as soon as I found paintball, that's that. That's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like instantly hooked. It's crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. It's unexplainable feeling.
It's exactly
it's something different that
it's that bite. It's the bug.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not like any other sport. It's just a weird feeling.
Definitely. No other sport like paintball out there. Not, just the how intensely competitive, how small the margins are, and the teamwork aspect in that as well just throws like all of it all together. It's one of like the most involved sports in so many different like aspects, like physical, mental, even structural as far as organizations and having support behind it. So talking about kind of the structure and the support that you guys have had, you started really fully playing tournament series this year. You played a few tournaments here and there last season, but we didn't really fully dive in until the 2023 season. And you've been involved, even though this is like your first full season of playing tournaments, you've been involved with the Titans for longer than just this year. So, Ruben, let's start with you on this one. Tell us about how practices and like training with the Titans organization for the past year and a half. How has that gone for you?
I mean, if you like getting your ass kicked weekend after weekend, go to our tryouts or go to our practices, because that's basically what it is. But if you don't take it as a learning lesson, you won't get nowhere. You don't take those losses as a loss. You take it as a learning lesson. So next time you won't make those same errors.
I love it. You pretty much put it exactly how it is. If you love getting your ass kicked, we definitely have a lot of that within our organization. We just got a lot of really top tier players on there, but I mean, it's all for a purpose, right? Damon, how about you? Go ahead, Ruben.
Sorry. Builds character.
Builds character.
Builds your character and it makes you stronger.
100%. I think the results have definitely proven that. So, Damon, how about you? How has this past year and a half of training with the Titans gone so far?
Oh man, I mean, I would put it the same way as Ruben would. I mean, but the thing is regarding that, it's like, it's not said in a bad way, right? It's exactly what he said. It builds character 100%. When I'm going out there, yeah, for a few times you definitely get shit on, but it's okay because you learn from those mistakes and then you just build from it. And I mean, I think the amount of mistakes that I made from the beginning till now, it's just really improved my game to the level where I don't think it would have if I wasn't practicing with the Titans. Like when I first started, started on the fundamentals and like the basic stuffs, but then we built from there, and it's turned me into just a completely different monster than who I was when I first started. And I don't think it would have been possible without the Titans, in all honesty.
Something that we kept harping on was like trust the process. And it was definitely a long process. And I know there was definitely a ton of times where it was frustrating just going out there and just getting destroyed and learning these lessons more or less the hard way. But for both of you, you decided to stick with it. You know, you decided to play. You could have played more tournaments last season. You could have gone off and either joined another team or just signed up to play events and really started competing last year. But that at the same time, that would have, you know, that's not really our thought process. We're trying to prepare you to win, not just compete. You know, we're trying to help you get first place trophies at every level. And had you gone last year and played more tournaments, that would have also had a adverse effect as far as your abilities to play Division 5 this season. So now that we're a couple of events in, would y'all say, and Damon, let's start with you on this one. Would you say that this process for the last year and a half or so, has it paid off?
Oh, for me, I think it definitely has paid off. I mean, yeah, we were a bit hungry. I mean, a bit. We still are hungry, you know, but we were just a bit hungry to try to jump the gun last year and just compete as much as we could. But I think the fact that we did hold off and that now we can just, you know, let loose this year on D5, whereas last year I think we were still meshing as a group, where at the time to really mesh together and take it to this season now. And I think our D5 line now is way better than our line would have been last year, you know? So I think definitely the wait was worth it for sure.
Ruben, how about you, man? What would you say now that we're on kind of this end of that process? How do you think that the results have shaken out for you? Do you think it's been worth it?
Of course, I have no regrets at all. I mean, yeah, we wanted to play tournaments so bad, but you and Dylan were like, no, just hold on, be patient. Y'all, let's get these wins rather than just play a lot of tournaments and build your points up just so, what would you say? Just so you can say you're D4 or D3 for your points.
Yeah. When
you'd rather have quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? When they look at your APPA profile.
100%. And I mean, even the events that y'all did play last year, y'all did well. Like your first event as a squad, as a 5-man squad, you played the NXL, and I know, Ruben, you weren't in that event, but y'all, as Texas Titans White at NXL Dallas last year, playing D5 5-man, y'all made playoffs as your first tournament ever as the squad. And then a couple months later, y'all played your first X-Ball event as a squad in USXBL, the third event of the year, which is a notoriously difficult tournament to even play in, just with it being in the middle of July in the Texas summer heat, 115 degrees outside. The turf is reaching the 130, 140 degree mark, and y'all still made playoffs. So y'all were a definitely like competitive D5 team. But even then, you know, you're trusting that process, still sticking through and, you know, holding off on entering more competitions. And now this year you come out of the gate swinging with the dub over at the first Bunker Fest event, and then again in third place at NXL, the Round Rock event. So I would say, you know, trust the process. A lot of people, what they don't realize, especially when they're getting into paintball for the first time, is that your APPA profile, it's not like, you know, online games where you're trying to rank up as quick as you can. You know, you're not trying to get to diamond or, you know, master or whatever tier. No, those points you want to hold off until you've truly like earn at least going from Division 5 to Division 4 because of how easy it is. You can hit Division 4 without making a single playoff. You can go 1-3 or even, you know, 0-4 at some events and still be Division 4 the following year if you play enough of them. So just having that process there to say, hey, we're going to do this the right way. We're going to learn our lessons in Division 5 so that we can be, we can set ourselves up for success at every single level. So, for any newer players out there, definitely don't think of APPA points, PB Leagues points as like, oh, I'm trying to collect them all. Definitely not. You want to think, just completely ignore the PB Leagues points as you're starting out. Just focused on getting better as a player.
Your points might say you're D4, but are you really D4?
Facts.
Right.
Facts. Yeah, because the thing is, it doesn't matter what your points are. You could technically play up, and there's nothing preventing you guys or anybody out there from going and signing up for a semi-pro event. And suddenly, you're gaining semi-pro points, and you could be trash. You could be you belong in D5, but if you mess your profile up like that, then you're going to be stuck playing those higher divisions when you could have, learned those lessons as, a little bit more player friendly versus, hey, we're just going to jump in, mess ourselves up, and then we're trapped.
Playing the higher divisions doesn't always mean that you're going to be having fun playing those, right? That's one big thing that you and Dylan always mentioned to us, is that you guys are wanting us to have fun while playing the game, not necessarily. Yeah, of course, we do want to win for sure. I mean, I think everybody really wants to win at the end of the day, but you guys really instilled the point of we're here and also in it to have a good time while playing. I think while you guys were making us wait, that was your intention as well, which is solid.
Yeah, we also just know how tough it is to win paintball tournaments. It's one of the toughest things to do. And we value getting, not just being quote unquote competitive or quote unquote doing well. Maybe you win, you go 3-1, and then you make playoffs, and maybe you win a playoff game and then you get knocked out. That's pretty good, but we're looking for first places. We're looking to be the best team out there. And I think the way that we have set things up now that the Texas Titans are in their third year really speaks to that, because we're trying to be successful and win tournaments at every single level. So yeah, moving on. This next question is just for Ruben. So Ruben, on the field, your play style is more so as a front snake player. You're a 1, and you're not afraid to make big moves to blow games open, but also, you're starting to be more capable at the playing, the slower game whenever the situation calls for it. So are there any other players that you try to watch or draw inspiration from for your own play style?
As in professional, I mean,
anybody, man. Anybody. Who do you watch to say, hey, I want to play like them?
I mean, I don't try to be like anybody else. I see how they play, and I try to get them to play off of how I play. So I try to be the, I try to be the controller and make them move to where I want them to go. I like to control the situations.
Okay. Gotcha. Do you have any, do you watch any professional players and try to hey, I think this player is really good, I want to start to play like them or anything like that?
I mean, I like Alex Goldman, Rainey, Fedorov. I mean, I like all these play styles. Everybody's different. I like to make I don't know. It's just, in the moment, it's all different. So it's situational. You can't put one play style in one play.
For sure. I mean, those 3 names are definitely at the very top of the game. So good to take a little bit of inspiration from everyone. So Damon, this question is just for you. So these past 2 events, The Titans have won their final game of the tournament, either the first place match or the third place match, off the back of huge moves by you specifically to close the game. So tell us about the Bunker Fest moment, and then tell us about the moment at the NXL Round Rock event.
Okay. Well, going back to Bunker Fest, with that last match, we had gone out. Everything was going pretty solid. The breakout was it goes completely different, right, from practice to the actual tournament. But with that breakout, we learned that we had to hold a little bit to then go out to our sides, whereas we couldn't really just break out to our first initial bunkers like as we wanted. So as we were waiting, I then got to my Dorito bunkers, got lucky enough to gotten someone out heads up. Then when I was just trying to relax, trying to see what was going on, I realized that it was just me and Isaiah that were the last two alive. But I had seen that he had a bunch of pods on his feet, like that he had just been pumping paint, that he didn't have much paint left. And I was like, oh man, I mean, they're focused on him. It's my time. I gotta try to go and do something. So I was lucky enough that I had just gotten that Dorito guy out heads up, and then I just went to their 50, started to wrap, got the other guy out on their center 50 bunker, ran around to their corner, and then luckily enough got a guy out on the snake. As I got that guy out in that center 50 bunker for this just that center 50, he had then traded with Isaiah. So I didn't know that I was the last one alive. I didn't know that it was just me and the snake. So after I had killed that snake, I was like, kill 5! Kill 5! And everyone was gone. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know what to do, because everyone had been telling me, they were like, don't press the buzzer.
In
Don't
overtime.
press the buzzer. Yeah, they were like, don't do it. Whatever you do, don't press the buzzer. So I'm like, I'm the last one here. So I just waited and I pressed it. I was like, okay, all right. And then everyone just like freaked out. I mean, I was running back to the thing and everyone was like bomb rushing the field. They're like, ah! It was some crazy stuff for the Bunker Fest one. That one was pretty lit for sure. And then going back to the NXL Lone Star one, on that last point, it was actually pretty funny too, because we had broken out and everything was solid. Then we had once again bumped out to the outside, and both me and Ruben core sampled our guns. Literally at the same time, bumping out to the side, we both core sampled, right? And so then, but unfortunately, Ruben's core sample was a bit worse than mine. So as I was like trying to fix everything, trying to get all the mud out of the barrel and then fix the hopper, I heard the call for Ruben. He was saying that he was down, and I was like, oh man, so like now both of our snake and our Dorito are like not in it right now. And so I just had to try to pop it up, get it working again. Luckily then I was able to get up to the Dorito 50. Me and their Dorito player, he was in their Dorito too. We had a little snap battle situation going on. I luckily had won the snap battle, then just wrapped on that 50, and once again, kind of like Bunker Fest, just wrapped on the 50 and got their center 50 guy out, and that was a wrap. Then I just came around the side, and I had Ruben running over to me like with no barrel, because he had four sample. He had no barrel, just like running over. It was pretty sweet. That was nice.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun how both of those moves were pretty similar to each other. Damon, you just kind of read the situation. You read that, oh, this move to the 50 is free. They're just giving it to me. Read it, and then you're like, all right, this is mine. Snatching it up.
Yeah, definitely. I think both Ruben and I capitalize on those situations pretty well, whereas one side's getting heat, then the other side will take advantage of it. I think we both do that pretty well for our line, at least.
100%. Jose's in the chat right now. He says Damon was in the Dorito too, but his gun was still in the baby.
Yeah, that's true. When we core sampled, I had basically done a front flip over my gun because I didn't want to destroy the gun, so I tried to like avoid my body, and I was in the bunker, but my gun was maybe like like 5 feet away from me. And so I had to go out and try to grab it and drag it in while paint was still shooting across. So I just got lucky that I didn't get hit out when I was trying to grab my marker to bring it back.
For sure. I mean, that event in particular, there was core samples everywhere on every field, divisional, semi-pro, pro. Everybody was getting some core samples that weekend. I don't know what it was about just the sticky mud and all of the rain that we had gotten on the first day. Yeah, man.
Just crazy.
I think it was just playing on the grass. We're used to playing on turf. Every tournament and practice is on turf. And then we go out to the grass and it's a different experience. You don't slide as well.
Yeah, I don't think we realized how lucky we were to be playing at X and then going over to GI Party Sports and playing those tournaments on the turf. And then we went to just play Round Rock, and I think everyone was, I mean, you would see it, everyone would try to slide, but then they would just dig into the ground.
Oh, yeah. Grass is a different beast entirely. Especially when you get to those Sunday situations where it's just well worn. You've had so many countless games of players diving into the same 5 spots, and then suddenly you're just sticking in there, bouncing off of the grass.
Yeah.
So real quick before we continue, looking at everybody in the chat, if you got something that you want to ask Damon and Ruben, get your questions in there. We're coming towards the back half of our show. So get your questions in there. We'll get to them toward the end. So, boys, this next question is brought to us by Thomas, FUAthletics. Go to FUAthletics.com. Use code INTHEPITS25 for 25% off of your order. So this is going to be for each of you. Ruben, we'll start with you. What has been your favorite moment in your career so far?
Probably that Bunker Fest win. First win with the boys. That was a great feeling.
Damon, how about you?
Yeah, I would say the Bunkerfest win as well. I don't think I'll ever forget the moment where I hit the buzzer, turn around, and I see all the boys rushing the field. I don't think I'll ever forget that moment. That was something special.
For sure. Here, Damon, could you turn your camera off and then back on real quick? I think your camera froze because if you have it with you, I'd love to see a little bit of show and tell. Do you got you got a certain something after that move at Bunkerfest? So if you have it with you, can we see it? See if this camera loads.
Got it in it. Is the camera working?
It's still loading, but we'll get it here in a sec. Just looking at the chat, Leo. All right. While we're waiting for Damon's camera to load, we got a question from Leo in the chat. So, Ruben, Leo asks, who's your favorite Titan?
Leo, you are the first jersey Titan I wore for my first 3-man tournament. So, we gotta say you. I think I inherited your power like the Space Jam.
All right, Damon, we can see you now.
Back? Awesome. Sorry about that.
You good?
But to go back to what you were saying earlier, yeah.
There it is, the MVP reg with the MVP, which it was really cool that at Bunkerfest it's a team vote. And yeah, man, definitely no question who earned it. Yeah. Here, welcome to the club, homie.
Yes.
Hey, let's go.
We're gonna see if Ruben can join us here this weekend.
This weekend, baby.
That's what I'm saying.
My turn.
Yes, sir.
All right, Damon. We were just getting a question from the chat, which is a question from Leo. He asked, "Who's your favorite Titan?"
Ooh.
On the spot, bro.
Yeah, I gotta put me on the spot like that.
Hey, man, I told you had to be ready.
I gotta say, probably Dylan. The old dill pickle.
There it is. There it is.
I wanted to show the boys. This is what I was talking about. I got it in a little baseball case.
Oh, sick.
I didn't want to use it, so I just had it framed up.
This guy.
Yeah, don't use that. Don't use that.
He's like, yeah, I'll just use the next one that I get.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If I ever
there's 4 tournaments, bro.
Yeah, if I ever get another one, that's what I'm gonna do is put that one on and then, put the first one on and then frame up the other one if it ever happens.
Oh, you mean when it ever happens? You mean when it happens?
Oh yeah.
All right, so looking ahead, boys, this weekend we have the second Bunkerfest event. So, Ruben, we're going to start with you on this one. How was your experience playing the first Bunkerfest, and what are your goals for this weekend?
Goals are simple. Bring back that gold, defend that title. My experience at the first one, I had no complaints. Everything was great. The food was great. The vendors were great. The crew, the Bunkerfest crew was great. How they had everything on point. Like, everything was great. They were telling us when our matches were. Just great experience overall.
100%. Damon, same question to you. What was your experience like playing the first Bunkerfest, and what's your goal for this weekend?
Oh man, the experience was great. Same with Ruben on everything that he said. The vendors were great. The actual staff itself, they're awesome. Last year there was, or not last year, last Bunkerfest, someone even went down from, I believe it was a heat stroke. I'm not 100% sure what it was, but when it happened, the staff were on it, and it's just really nice to see from such a big type of event that they're trying to put together, how on it their staff can be. And no complaints whatsoever. What I'm ready for on this Bunkerfest is just for us to take it home. We're reigning champs right now. We got a statement to make. We can't just let up at all. We got to show these boys who the best team in Texas is right now, and that's the Titans, that's the Titans,
They know now. Y'all definitely have a target on your backs after the after that first event, and then after NXL as well. So, yeah, keeping it rolling, keeping it going strong. Let's make it 2. All right. So, y'all, looking at the chat here for any other questions in the chat. Let's see. Jose was sounding off. I think it was he was saying Damon wasn't even wearing pod packs at tryouts, but he was still running down the field. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Let's see. The Leo's giving some love right back at you, Ruben. And then also shout out to Adon for capturing everything from our last couple of events. I know he's going to be there doing it again this weekend. He's got some absolutely fire footage, photo and video. Adon's been the trajectory has just gone straight up this season. I know Adon's been putting a lot more work into it, and it's definitely showing. Let's see. Jose says, y'all may get the kills, but don't you forget, I'll be hitting that buzzer. If y'all try to hit it, there may be some friendly fire. So looks like Jose's trying to get a reg of his own. Trying to get that 6-pack.
Baby. Bring it. Bring that fire.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We need it. That's exactly what we need going into Bunkerfest.
100%. Jose said it was Ruben wasn't wearing the pod pack at the tryouts. Got it. All right. And then JC, of course, saying, hey, don't forget to get your jerky while you're there. All right. So this question is brought to us by Get That Shot. Message Get That_shot on Facebook or Instagram for media coverage at Bunkerfest or NXL. So boys, is there anybody in Texas, either teams, players, brands, projects that have caught your attention lately? So who do you think in Texas paintball deserves more recognition for what they're doing? Damon, let's start with you.
I would say one for sure is Trade My Guns. He's at a lot of the events. He's a vendor at a lot of the events. I actually just got one of my new markers from him. Love it. Absolutely love it. Say definitely from JC as well. Uno's Jerky. Best jerky in town. You got to get it. You got to get it. FUAthletics, because he hooks us up with all the proper gear, you know, all the nice stuff to wear. I mean, well, that's pretty much it that I could think of, you know. We love everybody though. That's for sure.
100%. There's a lot of people taking care of us. Ruben, same question to you. Who in Texas paintball do you think deserves more recognition for what they're doing, whether they're a player, a brand, a project, media person, a team, doesn't matter?
I mean, you already mentioned it. Aiden with AFG Filming. One of your sponsors, actually, Hermes. He does headbands and beanies. Paintball Kumite. Wait, I love going to those classes. Colt. People need to sign up, get more knowledge on the field by a pro. And FUAthletics. Buy some athletic gear.
Yes, sir.
100%. Yeah, another shout out to Paintball Kumite, Colt Roberts. We didn't get a question in for him on this one, but Colt Roberts has been huge and working with the Titans and working on all of our trajectories. And Colt was actually, when we did an internal poll on who do we want the next Titan to be on the show, I think Colt had said your name, Ruben. So definitely shout out to Colt. He's been there kind of helping us along the way.
Huge shout out to Colt. He's always helping on and off the field.
For sure. All right, y'all. So that pretty much does it for our show. This last question is brought to us by Compete, which is Jel Stewart of AC Diesel's brand of soft goods. So message him on Facebook or Instagram and mention In the Pits for 10% off of your order of soft goods. So boys, both of you, thank you so much for your time. Do y'all have any last shout outs or things you'd like to say before we sign off? Ruben, let's start with you.
Shout out to all the help we get in the pits, all the girlfriends that help with everything. Thank you, Christian, for having me on the podcast. And just tune in. These next ones are gonna be pretty good.
Yes, sir. Damon, any last shout outs you'd like to have?
Yeah, just same with me. Shout out to all the ladies in the pits helping us out when they definitely don't have to, you know, everybody taking the pictures for us and just helping us out. And yeah, you know, just shout out to the D3 line for just pushing us always, you know. Shout out to all the lads on the D3 line for always helping us out as well. And like Ruben said, get ready because we're coming. It didn't stop at Bunkerfest. We're ready and we're hungry for sure.
All gas, no brakes.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, special shout out to all the wives, girlfriends out there that have been helping us throughout all of these events, you know, coming to these events with us, giving us their support, and, you know, just really just there to help us win. And you know, that's a huge time commitment, huge travel commitment from them, and you know, they've been there to support us all the time. So special shout out to all of y'all that have been helping us out throughout the years. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to go follow Damon at trippy.riptide on Instagram and follow Ruben at 210dude on Instagram. So what other guests would y'all like to see on the show? Be sure to go leave a comment down below. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. The show goes live weekly here on youtube.com/@inthepitspaintballpodcast, and recordings are posted to YouTube, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify the next day. Shout out to my partners and sponsors, FUAthletics, Get That Shot, Paintball Kumite, Compete, Hustletown Paintball, and Airmis PB. Y'all, this next episode, it may kill me, but we will see you guys next week for episode 49. We will have the man of many names, Nostramarcus, the time traveler, the good shepherd of Texas, otherwise just known as Mark Franz Sr. So we will see you all next week. Damon, Ruben, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me.